You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
It's like this heart is defenseless against a passion that's pumping through my veins.
Hello, America. We are mere moments away from the beginning of the New York Off the Rails show. I am your host, Rick Robinson. We are live right now on KLRNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. We are back to our late night time slot. I know I tried an earlier time slot. It seemed like it was working out great for a while. Things were just getting way too inconsistent. And unfortunately, I felt like the show was suffering, so I have moved it back to the normal time slot. So beginning tonight, we will be back on at 11 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. And of course, the only reason we won't do a Friday night show is because you got to tune in for Robinson Wright at the same time. Just finished up Jen and Rick. Hope you guys tune in for that one. If not, please feel free to catch the podcast. We're going to be back here in just about 60 seconds to start the show officially. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight, including a little bit of a rant I have against these anti-2A folks. Going to take, for those of you tuning in for the last show, this is going to be a little bit of a different direction, so don't worry, it won't be much of a rehash. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
It's your name I'll blow us. It's running deeper than the ocean. This ain't religion, it's devotion. 3, 6, 5, every minute, every day.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
This freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can't achieve. This nation of people standing as one in the name of liberty.
Hello, America. Welcome to the program. I am Rick Robinson. We are live right now on KLRNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. We now officially, beginning this week, kind of unofficially because it'll be a short week for us now, are back to Monday through Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank everybody who might be tuning in live, whether you decide to listen live in our X podcast, however you choose to listen. Makes absolutely no difference to me. Just really, really stoked that you guys choose to listen at all. We've got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Biggest thing we're going to be talking about, because it's still all over the news, is the whole March for Our Lives thing. Craziness. So, but one of the things I want to put to bed for what I hope to be the last time is because everybody likes to point out this part of the Second Amendment that talks about the well-regulated militia. So the problem is we have all of these, wayward scholars who, who've decided that they're like Rhodes Scholars or something, who are using we're using actually 21st century definition for a word that was written over 200 years ago. So in the common parlance of when this amendment was written, well-regulated simply meant in proper working order. Now, for everybody that's about to shoot me some hate and throw some shade, there's another part of this you're not going to like either. Militia meant every able-bodied man within the city limits who had the ability to carry a gun or the area of the township. That's why they had these things called Minutemen. And yes, I get it, equal rights, yada yada, but that wasn't how things were back then. I guarantee you, I've had training, my wife can outshoot me. I've been trained how to kill people. My wife can outshoot me. So I get it. Women can shoot guns. I'm not saying they can't or they shouldn't. Honestly, some of the hottest things I've ever seen are women holding firearms. But that's a story for another day. I mean, we've gone late night, but we don't want to go that far late night. But so anyway, but one of the things that keeps driving me crazy is everybody keeps throwing around this, well, it means it's talking about a well-regulated militia, Rick. Well-regulated militia, regulation, meaning laws and rules. No, because in that time frame, the common parlance, when they used the words well-regulated, that just meant in proper working order. And when they referred to militia, they're basically talking about us, because we were the militia. Now, I get it. You can make the argument that there's actual militia groups now, and there's the National Guard, and there's the military, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Look, I want to remind you of something that the Japanese emperor said during World War II. We are not invading the American homeland because if and when we do, there will be a gun behind every blade of grass. Because they knew that we were a bunch of gun-toting, ass-kicking Americans. That's why they hit an outpost like Hawaii, because they knew they could get there. And they knew that it would hurt us, because nobody's hit us before on our home turf. Before then. That was the only time in history that it had ever happened until 9/11. And they knew it. That's why they used everything they had to do it, because they wanted to say that they were the ones that did it, and they were convinced that they could take us. They were wrong, but they were convinced that they could take us. But part of the reason they weren't able to take us was because they wouldn't go any further than they already did, because they knew if they set foot on the American mainland, they were going to be slaughtered. Because not only would they be dealing with the National Guard, the police force, they would have every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a rifle and a pistol shooting at them. There's a reason the Second Amendment matters. And for those of you that keep telling me how much it's about hunting and providing for your family, you guys need to go back and reread the Constitution. I encourage Amazon just because they are kind of a sponsor, because they have one for like $1. So go find the Pocket Constitution. You can get it for like $1. I also heard somebody tell me the other day that you could actually get it free off the Google Play Store. I have not researched that yet, but feel free to do so. We're going to take a really quick break. We're going to continue this conversation about the gun grabs, because I'm really, really just pretty much over all of it, to be honest. Because this concept makes absolutely zero sense to me. And I'll explain why when we come back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back. Gotta pay some bills. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the streets. That's where we can meet. You bring your sticks, I'll bring gauges. Just don't know what you've been asking for.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
All right, folks, now I want to talk about some irony coming from this gun grabber group that I like to call the Tide Pod Brigade. Yes, I know that would get me suspended from Twitter, which is why I don't mention it there. However, I do typically call them the Tide Pod Brigade. So interesting thing happened. You know, David Hogg, one of the guys that's been kind of involved in this whole thing, has been, you know, parading and prancing and marching to have our rights infringed upon. So he gets back to school and finds out that in the school, they have now passed a school rule that all backpacks must be clear so that they can see what everyone has in them. The funny thing is, Mr. All of your rights need to be changed so that I can feel safe is now calling about discrimination because clear backpacks are retarded. And he doesn't think he should have to wear a clear backpack. So the guy who wants my gun rights taken away, a guy who's actually, you know, spent time behind a badge carrying a gun for a living, the guy wants my gun rights taken away, but he's too good to wear a clear backpack for the good of his school. Let that sink in for just a second. Just let that sink in for just a second. The guy who's telling everyone else that your rights mean less to you than his personal safety is now saying that his rights mean more to him than the rest of the school's personal safety. Funny how that works. When it's something that you believe shouldn't be infringed upon, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. They're trying to make me use this clear backpack, and that's a basic infringement on my human right to have whatever backpack I choose. Funny, backpacks aren't mentioned in the Constitution. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you have a constitutional right to carry a backpack. You have a constitutional right to own a gun. You do not have a constitutional right to carry a backpack. As a matter of fact, in this day and age, and with all of these, I mean, look, all of this money that these schools spend on books. I was reading a news story the other day that apparently in New York City, their history books haven't been updated or replaced in some schools in their inner city areas since 1999. Anybody seem to remember anything kind of important that happened that kind of reshaped New York City in 2001-ish? Kind of seems like maybe some of these schools might need new textbooks. Or, and again, I am kind of a paper guy, so I understand that I'm about to contradict myself a little bit, because I've always had this issue with electronic textbooks because they're so easily edited. But at the same time, as long as somebody's doing quality control and they can make sure that, you know, everything is actually the way that it should be taught, which is a big deal now because there's really no oversight anymore, and they're taking everything they possibly can out of history books because, you know, everything is offensive now. But why do we even need backpacks and books anymore when we have tablets? I mean, how many kids have smartphones? You know, everybody talks about, well, not every kid has access to a tablet or can bring a laptop to school. Okay, they have more computing power in their hand than put us on the moon. They have more computing power in their hand than we had in the entire space shuttle program. They have more computer power in their hand than I had when I was in 9th grade as part of the advanced AP science class. We actually, because my science teacher in Delaware won the Krista McAuliffe Award, we actually got a satellite dish for our school and a portable satellite dish. So as part of my AP science credit, we were going to other schools, setting up, configuring the satellite dish and making sure that they got to watch live launches in their schools. Because, you know, cable wasn't it's not as easy to get then to get NASA channel as it is now. If you've got cable, you can get NASA. That didn't used to be that way. NASA was not part of a cable package. So that was pretty cool for me because, I spent a couple of weeks here and there in my school year actually traveling, sometimes even to other states. We went and set up a school in Maryland, which was cool because being from Oklahoma, I'd never actually traveled to another state on a school project before. That was kind of interesting. But when you live in a state the size of a postage stamp, it's not real hard to travel elsewhere. Yeah, Delaware's small. If you haven't been there, the only state I know of that I think is smaller is Rhode Island, and I don't even anyway, I'm going to start irritating people that I know from the Delaware, Rhode Island area if I don't stop talking now. But with technology, what it is today, why do we keep spending all this money on textbooks? I mean, how much money are we spending maintaining textbooks and having somebody go through and clean them up and try to tape the pages back together and do this and do that? Not even necessarily spending in money, but in man hours. When we have a computer in our hands, I don't remember the last time I saw a child below the age of 5 that likely didn't have a phone in their hands. As much as I'm opposed to it, and as much as I have actually talked to the adult children that I have now that are now having children of their own who like to use tablets and smartphones as babysitting devices, that doesn't happen when the kids are at my house. I have a toy box behind my chair. They don't get tablets and smartphones when they're in my house. They get to play with toys like every other child in America. But that's part of the problem with all of this, is we're not doing things intelligently. We are wasting money hand over fist in ways that don't matter. We are funding things that don't matter. And we are letting technology and innovation slip through our fingers. All these kids are complaining about clear backpacks. Hell, you don't even need a backpack anymore. You put it, even if you can't get a tablet or a computer, if you have a smartphone, all you need is to make sure that you have a memory card big enough to be able to put your textbooks on your phone. Who needs a backpack? I mean, come on, if we're going to start talking about fixing actual problems instead of making these, come on. Who wasn't embarrassed the one time that their mom, because it was on sale, bought a clear backpack because she could get it for $3 and you needed a new backpack? I've been there. You can't see it because I don't have webcam, but I'm raising my hand. It was 6th grade. I was mortified. Everybody was pointing and laughing because they could see my Scooby-Doo lunchbox. No, not really. I didn't have a Scooby-Doo lunchbox. I really, really wanted a Scooby-Doo lunchbox, but I didn't have one. All right, so anyway, we're going to take a really quick break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Back in about 3. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm. But even then, he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Just don't know what you've been asking for. This means war. Line 'em up, knock 'em down. This means war.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. This is Rick Robinson. You are listening to the America Off the Rails program. I want to give you guys a quick rundown of the different affiliates and different places you can find the show. We are available, of course, on KLRNradio.com. New schedule now, Monday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Available on AMFM247.com every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Available on the Lanterns Radio Network various times, most usually 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Also available, I believe it's Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. and then Saturday and Sunday also at 8 a.m. And then, of course, we are available on crndigitaltalk.com every Saturday and Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And, of course, available on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, FM Player, Google Play Music, and just about every other podcast site known to man, including Blueberry and a few others. If you can find a podcast site we're not on, shoot an email to either Ann@KLRNradio.com, info@KLRNradio.com, or Rick@KLRNradio.com, and one way or another we'll try to find out how we can get the show put on there. Because, yeah, we are pretty much everywhere. Want to thank everybody for making this month one of our more popular months again. Things, I think, were kind of dwindling down because we were kind of in the post-election humdrum, but now the election cycles are kind of coming back up again. So I've noticed quite a few shows are getting some rather positive attention, so I want to thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. Now, for the first half of the show, we've basically been talking about the endless droning on and on of the Tide Pod Brigade in regards to wanting our Second Amendment rights basically stripped from us. The funny thing is, in one sentence, they say they don't really want to take our Second Amendment rights away, but then they start talking about how much they want things like Australian-style gun control. The funny thing is, if anybody ever actually looks at the numbers in Australia, they only have about a 30% rate of people actually paying attention to the gun buybacks, the confiscations, etc. Now, this doesn't necessarily surprise me, seeing as how Australia started as a penal colony. Not really surprising that they don't necessarily care very much about following the laws of their own country, since they come from a bunch of criminals. But then again, that's how the British felt about us anyway. Speaking of Brits and people of other countries, while we round out this topic, because we're about to take the bottom of the hour break, then I want to talk about some other stuff. I have one other thing I would really, really like to say. If you are not an American citizen, whether here through birth, naturalization, whatever the case may be, your opinion of my God-given Second Amendment right or any other right as outlined in the Bill of Rights makes absolutely no difference to me because you are not an American. I don't care what you think. I am so tired of people coming onto my Twitter feed talking to me about how the Second Amendment is outdated and doesn't matter anymore because nobody needs that type of firepower for hunting. If you think the Second Amendment is about hunting, you need to go back and read history because it has nothing to do with hunting. Our founding fathers knew that at some point there may come a time that we would have to rise up again and throw off shackles of oppressors. What annoys me about all of these people that are talking about how we need to make all these common sense gun reforms and do this and do that, they're making things worse because there is no such thing as common sense gun reform when you're using broad strokes and broad brushes to paint things. That's a huge, huge problem. All right, so we're up to the bottom of the hour. We're going to take another really quick break. When we come back, more things to talk about as far as news of the day. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an uptake as to what's going on here locally in Oklahoma. Because, as you know, our government's been basically at a standstill, and we have teachers threatening to walk out. Well, there's been some movement there. Apparently not enough for the teachers' organizations, but we'll touch on that a little bit, along with some other things that are going on in the news. This is Rick Robinson, host of America Off the Rails. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the streets. That's where we can.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. One last thing to touch on in regards to this whole Second Amendment brouhaha. I guess today a former Supreme Court justice stated that they should repeal the Second Amendment. So on Tuesday, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens called for the constitutional right to keep and bear arms to be repealed, calling it a relic of the 18th century, especially in light of last month's high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, which triggered March for Our Lives last Saturday. So now we have former Supreme Court justices screaming that we need to do away with the Second Amendment. I hate to sound like Charlton Heston, but from my cold, dead hands, that's when you can have the guns that I may or may not own. Because as far as you know, I pawned them all last week. Because you're not legally obligated to know what firepower I may or may not have in my home. But for those of you, because I keep seeing all this stuff about, well, if real men don't need guns and real men don't need this and real men don't need that, look. I've spent most of my adult life around weapons in one form or another for one reason or another, most of which was professionally. It doesn't have anything to do with fear. Those of us that carry, that's what we keep being told. We're doing it because we're afraid. Because we're afraid we're going to have to shoot someone. Because we're afraid this is going to happen, or we're afraid that's going to happen. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with fear. It has to do with knowing that should the need arise, I have the ability to defend myself, my family, and anyone else around me. It's not out of fear. It's out of obligation. There are certain people in this country. There are three types of people in this country. Sheep, which are basically everyday average people that just go about their daily lives and they do their things, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But then we have the wolves. Those are the ones like this Parkland shooter. And the guy that shot up the Senators at their softball practice, and every other guy that's, the Las Vegas shooter. Those are the folks that I call wolves. Those are the ones that are basically out for themselves. They're out to do whatever they can do to cause as much panic as they can. And then there's folks like me and other folks that are what I call sheepdogs. It takes a very certain particular type of person to put on a uniform every day and to do it for the right reasons. There are people that get involved in every single career, no matter what it is, for the wrong reasons. Whether it's teaching, law enforcement, military, whatever the case may be, if you're there for the wrong reasons, you're not necessarily going to be able to impact people in a positive way. But there are plenty of people that get involved in those type of careers and those career paths for positive reasons. And when they do so, even if they may no longer be in a uniform on a regular basis anymore, they still feel that at the end of the day, they took an oath. I took an oath. That oath didn't expire just because I retired from that particular career path, which is why I still choose to carry a weapon, which is why I still will do my best to defend the people around me should the need arise. That even includes those of you that are bashing me for carrying a weapon. Because it's what we do. It's not out of fear. It's not out of obligation. Because it's who we are. There are people that are always going to be the ones that stand up and try to show you when things are right versus when things are wrong. The problem is, in this day and age, we have come to a time where there's no such thing as right and wrong anymore. It's all relative. David Hogg, to some, is a hero. To me, he's a crazy kid out to get attention. But to the people around him, he's a hero because he's standing up for what they think he believes in. I honestly don't think that kid knows what he believes in. I think he's found a way to get attention. And I know that that's going to get me some hate mail. I don't care. From what I've seen, this kid, he may have started with the best of intentions. I honestly don't know. But he's allowed his 15 minutes of fame to warp his message. He's now coming across as angry. He's coming across as hateful, vindictive. As much as I don't like some of the things that Marco Rubio is saying, Marco Rubio is actually trying to meet this crazy kid, at least in the middle, and say, look, let's sit down and talk about this and find some common sense things that maybe we can do. And this kid says nothing that Marco Rubio can do is ever going to make his side not hate him because he took money from the NRA. Guys, the NRA is not the devil here. The gun manufacturers are not the devil here. You want to know what the biggest... There are two huge problems in this country, and we're not addressing any of them. The first one is mental health in general, because we're not doing anything about that. And I'm not talking about these Band-Aids. If we should just make anybody from that have a hangman nail all the way to PTSD should not be able to own a firearm. Because, you know, them hangnails make you super cranky. They may just want to start shooting people up. And this next part's going to piss some people off. I'm going to say it anyway. You want to know why we have so many kids shooting up schools? Notice that lately most of the people committing violence in schools are kids. Two huge problems. Parents who are not paying attention. You know, the funny thing is, this reminds me of something that I saw last night. So my wife and I finally sat down and watched the premiere for Station 19, which is kind of a spin-off sort of thing for Grey's Anatomy. Yes, I know, threaten to yank my man card, I don't care. I watch certain shows because my wife likes them, and it's ways that we can spend time together. Although she will not sit down and watch science fiction with me. I just want that to be understood. But so I got to one of the scenes from that, and I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody, so I'm not going to try to give too many details. They respond because of a fire alarm to a honestly, I think it was kind of a not necessarily junior high school, maybe a middle school. These kids were like 13, 14 years old, so I'm pretty sure they were still junior high school, middle school age. But one of the kids that was there was pregnant. Now, this kid was in labor, so somebody pulled the fire alarm because it was the only way they could think of to get somebody there without alerting the kid's parents as to what was going on. Because somehow, even though the mom was in the same house with this child, she had no idea she was 9 months pregnant. And I got to thinking about that. I was like, how in the hell could that even be possible? But then I started looking at everything that goes on a daily basis in this country anymore, and all these people that don't pay attention to a damn thing because they don't ever put their phones down. They don't ever put their tablets down. They don't ever turn the TVs off. I mean, look, I'm not the grade A 100% top dog best parent in the world, but I do at least go out of my way at least a couple times a week to try to make sure that I'm connecting with my children and make sure that one of them isn't pregnant or has a limb falling off. The fact that that's even part of a TV show where it's even believable that a child could be 9 months pregnant and the mother not, and for those of you who haven't seen the show yet, I encourage you to go watch it. You will understand why I sound as flabbergasted as I do right now, but I don't want to give away too much of the show for those of you who haven't seen it. So if you haven't yet, go find it. It's on demand. It's on ABC. You will understand why I sound as flabbergasted about this as I do once you see the rest of the missing pieces. But this astounded me that this is something that can actually pass as believable in this country anymore. And the more that I thought about it, I was like, you know what? There are parents that don't ever see their kids. You know, maybe it's a single parent home. Maybe they're constantly working. Maybe they work nights. Kids go to school during the day. Parents are sleeping while the kids are at school. Kids are home while the parents are at work. You know, so, I mean, maybe it is conceivable that a child that's 14, 15 years old could wind up being pregnant and the mom wouldn't know anything about it. But that's what I'm talking about right here, right now, is we're talking about the fact that we have all of these kids that are so disconnected from everyone around them, so disconnected from their family, so disconnected from their peers, that they find it necessary to go shoot up a school. We have kids marching to take the rights away for everyday law-abiding American citizens that just want to be able to carry a weapon to use for both sporting purposes and possibly self-defense. But we're not talking about what could have caused or what could have stopped the shooting, and I'm not this most recent shooting especially. And I'm not talking about the failings of the FBI or the failings of the Broward County Cowards Department. I'm talking about if we're going to really start trying to impact gun violence and why it happens in schools and why millennials aren't, to steal a headline from a friend of mine, Kimberly Ross, millennials aren't just the victims in school shootings, they're the perpetrators. 9 times out of 10, it's a millennial pulling the trigger. Why is that? Why are we not talking about it? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. How many times was this kid that just killed, what I think the death toll was recently revised upwards to 18 because one of them didn't survive. But this kid that shot and killed 17, 18 people, wounded several dozen others, how many times was he bullied when he attended this school? We're not talking about the root causes, which are mental health issues, bullying issues, parents that are detached and unplugged from their children, don't have any idea what's going on in the lives of their children, to the point where, again, it's believable for a 15-year-old girl to be pregnant, their mother to see them every single day, and again, watch the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about, and then your jaw will hit the floor just like mine, to see them every single day and not realize that they are 9 months pregnant. All right, so we've got to take another really quick break. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but I think there was still good things that needed to be talked about in there. You want to talk about fixing things in this country, we got to get back to country, God, and parenting. And I know a lot of you don't like the G word. I don't care. We'll be right back.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the...
All right, folks, welcome back. So, actually, we spent a little bit more time on this topic than I wanted to, but it took a little bit longer to go through it all. So, I just want to recap for those that may be joining us a little late. First of all, the show's almost over. Where you been? No, I'm just playing. All right, so we're live right now on KLRMradio.com, where Liberty and Reason still reign, and we've been talking mostly about the Second Amendment gun-grabbing Tide Pod Brigade, as I like to call them. And the fact that we now have they have the media behind them, they have the Democratic Party behind them, they have a lot of the Democratic machine behind them, and now apparently they have a former Supreme Court justice parenting their rhetoric about doing away with the Second Amendment. Now, the funny thing is, if you ask them all directly, they say they don't really have any interest in doing away with the Second Amendment. They just want common sense gun reform. But to them, common sense gun reform would be stuff that would basically take weapons away from everyday American citizens. Now, I have something that I want to say about this in closing, and then I have one other topic I want to hit on. And for those of you that were listening to Jen and Rick, I apologize. This is going to be a bit of a rehash, but we have folks on other affiliates that listen to the show that don't always check out that one. So here's my thought process with this whole idea of, we're going to, because this is what I keep hearing, we're not going to make guns illegal. We're just going to make them as hard to get as they've made automatic weapons, because those are pretty much banned. No, actually, the problem is they're really not banned. They're astronomically expensive to get, and it's a real big headache. But I want you guys to think this through, because the same people that are telling us that all rich people are evil and the cops are bad are pushing to make it the law where the only people that would have access to weaponry are law enforcement and rich people. Because that's what's going to happen, because the restrictions on things like M16s, AK-47s, those don't necessarily impact rich people, because they can pay to jump through all the hoops they need to get the federal firearms license. They can, go buy the weaponry because they're really, really expensive now, which is why they're not in common practice. But here's the thing, folks, and this is the thing that nobody's talking about. And I heard a friend of mine that you may know from the FUBAR show, the Opulent Amish, was actually on Twitter explaining this to somebody the other day. Again, one of those people from another country that wants to tell us that our Second Amendment rights are outdated. That, he lives in California, which for him being conservative is actually kind of amazing. I know there are a few more than two out there, because I've actually met some. And actually, most of the conservatives I know that are out there are like, we don't even understand how Jerry Brown keeps getting elected, because everybody we talk to says that nobody votes for him, and somehow he still keeps getting elected anyway. All right, so that's a story for another day. So he was talking about the fact that, California has some of the most restrictive and regressive gun laws ever. So it's almost impossible for an everyday average citizen of no monetary means to obtain a license to carry a gun in the state of California. And that's what got me thinking. These are they want things like are in California now and Chicago now, because those are supposed to make things all better. This whole idea that nobody can get guns. But the thing about it is, if you make it to the point where it's really expensive to get a permit and it's really expensive to get a gun, all you're doing is creating a black market. And criminals don't give a damn about a gun permit in the first place. So who are you honestly hurting? The people that are willing to follow the laws and say, well, they've made my permit too expensive for me to be able to maintain it anymore, so I guess I'm going to let it go. And, this gun broke down, and now I can't afford to go buy another one, because now I've got to have a federal firearms license, and it's $1,000 to get that, and then $5,000 for the gun. I don't have that kind of money, so I guess I'm just not going to worry about it. Those are the people that they're going to be impacting, not the people that are like this dude that shot up the school. Because if the police had done their jobs in the first place, he never would have had access to the weapon. But they didn't do their jobs because of political pressure. These are the same people that you're saying you want to have control of the databases and everything else that keep people from being able to get guns, are the same ones that keep screwing up and letting people have guns. All right, we're up against a hard break. We'll be back in 3. Stay tuned.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back. All right, so believe it or not, we're just about out of time. I've got just about enough time for the one last topic that I really wanted to talk about. And some of you don't really care. I honestly didn't care. I didn't even watch the interview, but Stormy Daniels made an appearance Sunday night, 60 Minutes, apparently interviewed by Anderson Cooper. Funny thing is, I don't usually watch Hannity, but I had to see this bit because I heard him talking about it. He actually had a recent Jerry Springer interview with a person with a similar subject matter, side by side with Anderson Cooper. And it was funny because Anderson Cooper was asking almost the exact same questions as Jerry Springer, even though it was a completely different interview or person that they were interviewing. Since it was same general subject matter, it was weird because it was like Jerry Springer was on 60 Minutes, but it was Anderson Cooper. All right, so there's only really one thing that I want to say. Look, I don't care who the president may or may not have banged 11 years ago when he was a private citizen. Is it cool that he cheated on his wife? No. But I personally, I'm one of those, I try not to judge types because, I'm not perfect either. So there are things that I've done in my past that I don't necessarily think give me the ability to be able to say, that's a terrible thing that you did. Yeah, no, it's not cool, but he wasn't president yet. Not to mention the fact that, who cares? The Democrats all of a sudden are acting like they're virgins. Now, it does upset me because the Republicans can't ever really look back and say, oh, you elected Bill Clinton, or oh, you elected JFK, so you really can't talk to me about moral superiority because we elected Donald Trump, so we really can't say much about moral superiority either. But at the same time, we elected a president, not a preacher. And that seems to be something that we keep forgetting because everybody's got to drink milk and eat peanut butter and jelly and, say their prayers, eat their vitamins, be these wholesome people. Look, I get it. We all want people to be that way. But let's face it, this is the real world. People weren't even like that when Jesus was around, and Jesus was perfect. Jesus was the only person that was alive that was perfect. And the only one. And even he didn't have the type of expectations we seem to have about our politicians. But at the same time, not only this, but then Stormy Daniels, because the interview's about to come on, everybody's, tweeting her, what did you say? Did you have any pictures of Trump's genitalia? What's some recommended snack food? And of course, she quips back mini corn dogs and tacos. And everybody's pretty sure what she meant by mini tacos. And I'm not trying to say that it's not true, because, I've seen the man's hands. But, when you're a porn star, even a 747 is going to seem small to a Grand Canyon. I'm just saying. All right, so that's really all I have to say about that, and we are just about out of time. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in. Whether you choose to tune in live, Memorex, or through one of the affiliates, doesn't really matter to me. Just the fact that you tune in at all absolutely amazes me. We've been doing this show now for, I've kind of lost track of how long I've been doing this show, but we just rocketed past 80,000 plays and climbing on one site alone, so you guys are making the numbers great again, to steal a line from Donald Trump. But we're going to be back with you tomorrow night. We're going to kick off KLRN Radio live with our live programming at 8 p.m. Eastern with the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show, followed by Jess's POV, I think, comes on right after. And then, I'm not sure, I know Al was talking about trying to see if he could drop his show where the Stafford Voice used to be, because we're not sure what's going on with that one. But one way or the other, we have a great lineup for you tomorrow night, starting off with the Conservative Curmudgeon, and I've gone back to bat and clean up, so I'll be finishing out the night with you. Everybody take care, have a great night, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. God bless.